NASA has an entire department dedicated to exploring the ocean. Not space, the ocean. And in 2022, they suddenly went quiet about what they found. You've been told NASA stopped ocean exploration in the 1970s to focus on space. That's not true. They never stopped. They just stopped talking about it publicly. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you 3 discoveries from the deep ocean that changed everything we thought we knew about life on Earth, and why some scientists believe we're not alone down there. 1977, the Galapagos Rift. A team of scientists in the submersible Alvin descended 8,000 feet below the surface. They were looking for volcanic vents. What they found was impossible. Hydrothermal vents spewing water at 750 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead. The water was toxic, filled with hydrogen sulfide and heavy metals that would kill anything we knew about. No sunlight had reached this place in millions of years. By every rule of biology we had, nothing should be alive here. But surrounding these vents was an entire ecosystem thriving in hell. Giant tube worms 8 feet tall with blood-red plumes, eyeless shrimp clustered by the thousands, crabs, and bacteria that didn't need sunlight to survive. They ate chemicals through a process called chemosynthesis.
This discovery rewrote every biology textbook on Earth. Life didn't need the sun. It didn't need oxygen the way we thought. It could thrive in conditions we considered absolutely lethal. The foundation of life as we understood it was wrong. And if life could exist here, in Earth's most extreme environment,
It could exist anywhere in the universe, including places we haven't looked yet. NASA immediately shifted resources, not away from ocean exploration, toward it. Because if life could survive without sunlight on Earth, it could survive without sunlight on Europa, Jupiter's ice-covered moon with an ocean beneath, or Enceladus, Saturn's frozen world hiding liquid water. The deep sea became NASA's testing ground for finding alien life. But here's what they don't advertise in press releases. In 1979, just 2 years after the hydrothermal vent discovery, NASA launched the HROV program, Hybrid Remotely Operated Vehicle. Classified budget, classified dive locations. The official reason given to Congress? Testing equipment for future space exploration. The real reason buried in declassified memos from 2019? They found something else down there. Something that made chemosynthetic bacteria look ordinary. I'll come back to what they found in those classified dives. But first, you need to understand the second discovery. Because this one proves we've barely scratched the surface of what's living in our ocean. And it was discovered by accident. 2001. A research vessel off the coast of California was testing new deep-sea cameras. They dropped one to 3,000 feet, expecting to film the usual suspects. Maybe some jellyfish, some bioluminescent squid. The camera captured something that made the entire crew go silent. A bear-eye fish, but not like any fish they'd seen before. Its head was completely transparent. You could see through its skull directly into its brain. Its eyes, massive green orbs, weren't where fish eyes should be. They were inside its head, pointing upward, rotating to track prey above. The eyes on the front of its face? Those weren't eyes at all. Those were its nostrils. This creature had evolved to live in perpetual twilight, hunting in near total darkness with a see-through head. The barrel eye's transparent dome is filled with fluid. It protects the eyes while giving them a 360-degree view through the skull. But here's the disturbing part. We'd known about barrel eye fish since 1939. We'd been pulling them up in nets for 60 years. But every time we brought one to the surface, the pressure change destroyed that transparent dome. We'd been looking at them wrong the entire time. We'd been studying a broken version of the creature. How many other deep-sea creatures have we misunderstood? How many specimens in museums are damaged versions of something far stranger? The ocean is full of animals we've only seen dead or dying. And if we got the bear eye wrong for 60 years?
In 2003, 2 years after the bear eye footage went public, NASA quietly partnered with NOOA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, on something called the Subsea Project, officially training astronauts for space missions by simulating alien environments underwater, unofficially testing technology to find intelligent life in Earth's oceans.
In 2019, a former SUBC engineer leaked internal communications on a now-deleted forum. The messages mentioned acoustic anomalies detected at depths below 15,000 feet. Not whale songs, not tectonic activity, structured patterns, repeating sequences, communication.
NASA denied everything. The engineer disappeared from public record. His LinkedIn vanished. His research papers were scrubbed from academic databases, and the forum where he posted those leaked messages shut down within 48 hours. But here's what makes this terrifying. 3 months after those leaks, NASA announced a new partnership with the US Navy for deep ocean surveillance technology. Not exploration, surveillance. Like they were looking for something specific, or monitoring something they'd already found. Which brings me to the third discovery, the one that connects everything. Because in 1997, decades before those acoustic anomalies, we detected a sound that nobody can explain, and it's still happening.
But those acoustic anomalies weren't the first time we've heard something unexplainable from the deep. In 1997, NOAA detected a sound so loud it was picked up by sensors 3,000 miles apart. They called it the Bloop, and for 20 years, nobody could explain what made it.
The Bloop was detected in the South Pacific, one of the most remote parts of the ocean. The sound profile matched a living creature, but it was far too loud to be any animal we knew about. To produce a sound that powerful, the creature would have to be significantly larger than a blue whale, the largest animal ever recorded on Earth. The frequency was ultra-low, designed to travel vast distances underwater. Whatever made it was communicating across thousands of miles.
In 2005, NOAA announced they'd solved it. Icequakes. Massive icebergs cracking and breaking apart in Antarctica. The sound profile matched. Case closed. Except for one problem. The Bloop was detected in 1997. But similar sounds, called upsweep, whistle, and slowdown, were detected throughout the 1990s and early 2000s. Some are still being detected today. Icequakes don't repeat in patterns. They don't happen seasonally, and they don't move.
In 2012, a marine biologist named Dr. Sarah Chen published a paper suggesting the Bloop's frequency matched theoretical models for deep-sea gigantism, creatures that evolved in high-pressure environments we can't access. The paper was peer-reviewed. It was accepted. Then, 3 months later, it was retracted without explanation. Dr. Chen's funding was pulled. She left academia entirely.
Here's the pattern. Every time someone gets close to proving something massive is living in the deep ocean, the research disappears. Funding gets cut, scientists go quiet, and the official explanation always comes back to ice, whales, or natural phenomena. But natural phenomena don't encrypt their communications, and that's what those acoustic anomalies from the SUBC project showed. Structured, repeating patterns with mathematical precision.
If something intelligent is living at depths we can't reach, communicating in frequencies we barely understand, using the ocean as a shield from detection, we wouldn't know, because we've explored less than 5% of the ocean floor. We have better maps of Mars than we do of our own seabed. And maybe that's intentional.
So why is NASA involved in ocean exploration at all? The official answer? Training for space missions, testing equipment, simulating alien environments. But here's what they don't advertise. In 2020, NASA's budget request to Congress included $23 million for deep-sea analog research. That same year, they deployed autonomous underwater vehicles to the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean at 36,000 feet. The mission was classified. No public data was released. When journalists asked why, NASA's response was proprietary technology testing. Here's what we know for certain. Life exists in conditions we thought were impossible. Creatures live at depths we can't reach. Sounds are detected that we can't explain. And the agency responsible for finding alien life is spending millions exploring our own ocean in secret. Maybe they're preparing us for what's out there in space. Or maybe they already found it, and it's been here the whole time.
The ocean covers 71% of our planet. We've explored 5%. That leaves 66% of Earth completely unknown. If you think we're alone down there, you haven't been paying attention. Subscribe if you want more mysteries like this, because the deep ocean, we've only scratched the surface.